Hello and welcome to what is going to be a ride. I'm filming this intro at the end of doing this video and God, it's been a ride. Yeah, watch the video to find out what happened. I smashed my face in and everything. Trust me, it's going to be a bad one. Okay, so I've already taken off the intake so I can get better access down here. Next thing to do is I'm going to disconnect the gear linkages and then unbolt the frame that holds the linkages in place and try and cable tie out the way. So that's what I'm going to do now.
A few moments later.
Okay, gear linkages are off. They are here. That's the bracket that holds them. I've got to find a better place for them in a minute. It's quite hard to get them out of the way, but I'll tuck them out of the way at the moment. Right now, we want to get to the slave cylinder, the thing that pushes on the clutch. So we need to unbolt these two bolts here and here and move it up out the way.
A few moments later.
Okay, there we go. That is now out and tucked away up there. Luckily, it's on a flexi line, so it's fine. That is that done. That's out the way. That's that done. Next is going to be removing the starter motor, which is right there, which also shares a bolt with the engine mount. So we're getting there slowly. Okay, next I need to undo the speedo cable, which is right there in that thing there, that grey thing there, that there. The grey thing with the yellow coming out of it. Need to undo that.
A few moments later.
Okay, speedo cable is now unscrewed. I unscrewed it just by unscrewing this like that. That's the speedo cable there. I'm going to move the speedo cable up out of the way, just over here. This wiring loom here, I need to just pull this up out the way, and there's a lot more access to the gearbox there, although still a lot in the way here. I might undo this water pipe. I'm going to lose the water, but if I can undo this water pipe, get it out of the way, it'll give me a lot more room to play with. Give me a lot more room to play with to get down to the gearbox.
One eternity later.
Okay, it is now 2 weeks later. And let me show you what I'm working with here, yeah? Still no... Look. Check out my toolbox, right? It's full of water. Look. Toolbox is full of water. So today, I'm trying to carry on. I'm going to take the starter motor off today. Bolt there. Take the starter motor off today. Then I'm going to try and get as many engine, gearbox bolts out as I can on the top. Maybe jack it up, but we see how we go. We'll see how we go with the rain and no roof. The floor's soaking wet. Got to lay on the wet floor, but you got to do what you got to do. This is what I've got to work with. So all you lot on YouTube building your cool cars in your workshops and stuff, check out what I've got to work with. Soaking wet, toolbox full of water. So let's see what we can do here today. See, hopefully it'll dry up later. Okay, starter motor is off and kind of tucked up out the way. I'm just going to tuck it out the way for now. Now I'll start undoing some of these gearbox bolts. See if I can start getting some of these undone. I think that's still sat on the mount at the minute, so that's not going to drop. Right, start with that bolt.
A few moments later.
We've run into a problem that I didn't expect to be the problem. These wheels have got these stupid bolts on. See these stupid bolts that you got to use? What is it? You got to use this to undo. Problem I've got is it's just rounded off, and the wheel bolts are really tight for some stupid reason. So I've now got to try and get an impact socket and hammer it over that and try and make it work. I've got to grind this down to size 15, 16, I don't know. What a ball ache. Okay, well that is that for today. I've done all the bits on top of the gearbox ready to come out, but all I need to do now is get the wheels off. Well, get the wheel bolts undone so that I can then jack it up, take the wheels off, take the drive shafts out and start undoing stuff from the bottom. But I can't do that because I can't get the freaking wheels off because of them stupid tuner nuts that are on the car. So I've now got to wait till tomorrow, God knows what time it'll arrive, for Amazon to bring me a new key to get the wheel bolts undone. and I hope it's the right one. One day I'll get this done. It's a pain in the arse. What I'd give for a proper workshop.
The next day.
It turned up, and it's the wrong one. It's bigger, doesn't fit. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the arse getting these wheels off. Okay, well, I've managed to find this one online. I think this one's more looking like the one it needs to be. So I've got to wait 3 days or so for this to come off of eBay, and then I'll be able to get the wheels off the car. It's now another week later. I came out this morning, it was raining, and I just thought I'd get on with it without filming. So far, this is what I've done. Wheels are off. I've undone the drive shaft bolts. I've undone the top suspension and pulled it out. Hopefully that's enough to put away enough to get the gearbox out. Done that on both sides. I've undone all the bolts. I've taken both drive shafts are now undone. This one should actually be loose. Yes, that's loose. So the engine mounts there and there are off. All the gearbox bolts are out. It's now on this chain. I've got a jack underneath holding the engine. I've got this gearbox on this chain using the other bracket. Right, now it's time to try and separate the gearbox. The fun bit starts now. So I'm going to get on with this. I can't really film. It's quite difficult to film. But I'll come back to you once I separated it.
One pair of pants later.
Okay. After a lot of messing around, it got stuck, properly wedged. After a lot of messing around, the gearbox is out. And I spotted straight away the problem we had with it. Why it leaked all of its oil out. Check this out. Look at that. That's why. That's why it failed. Wow. Blew a hole in it. Right. Time to swap over all the bits. Put oil in the new gearbox. And I don't know if I've got enough time to put this one in today, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, we now have the new gearbox on the bench. Just going to make sure the flanges are the right length for the thing. I've got to swap this over. This one over for a mechanical spinning one. I'm currently just going to fill it with oil because to have it transported on a pallet it had to be drained of oil. Plus I want to put oil in it anyway, so I've taken out the drain plug and I'm now just going to fill it with oil. Okay, clutch is off. Clutch, to be fair, doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look bad at all, to be honest. It looks alright. But I'm going to fit a lovely new sash clutch kit from Darkside Development instead. Already got the tool in there to centre it. I'm going to give it a good clean up with clutch cleaner in there, and then I'll get on with fitting this to the torque settings of 20 Newton meters. Okay, clutch bolts I have just given a good clean with some carb cleaner, and now I'm going to thread lock them all and then put the new clutch in. Okay, there we have it. New clutch is all in, leveled up, all torqued up to the correct spec. I've also just cleaned all up in here, cleaned this up and put in the new clutch release bearing there. So do I have time today to try and get this gearbox in? Gonna give it a go. Right, new gearbox is down there underneath there. I'm currently winding it up on the chain to try and get it in place. Okay, when you're under the car, make sure that it's secure, because it will drop through the car and smash you in the mouth. Shit.
The next day.
Okay, I gave up yesterday because I smashed my face in. We're at it again. Now it's pretty much in place. We're just trying to get it to locate onto the shaft. Struggling to get this flywheel. This bell housing over the flywheel though, to be honest. I'll crack on, see how far I can.
A few moments later.
Finally, we've finally got it mounted up. We have the top two bolts in. Thank God for that. Can't get the engine mounts to line up yet, but let me get the gearbox bolted up first.
2 hours later.
It's been a good few hours now since I last videoed. Gearbox is in, all the bolts for the gearbox are in, front engine mount's on, rear engine mount, no matter what I did, I could not get the bolt to go into the engine mount and take, so I've had to take the bloody engine mount off and try and work out what's going on with it. I've managed to re-thread it, and so the engine mount's going in now as well. So let's get the engine mount back in and see how far I can get.
Eventually.
Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, everything is in and bolted up, all the electrics are on, everything is back where it should be, apart from that, apart from the intake. I've got one dilemma though. I've got one plug here. I've been searching for 20 minutes. I can't figure out for the life of me where this plug plugs in. It's doing my head in. I've started it up, everything's working, flywheel spins are freely, everything's good. But there we have it. All I've got left to do, which I'm not going to get done today or this week because it's about to get dark and I've got work tomorrow. All I've got left to do is attach the drive shafts and put the suspension back together, figure out what that plug plugs into, and we're done. So look out for the final chapter of this horrendous build that smashed my face in. See you in the next one.